Your diarrhea. Diarrhea full of shit. Just play along with myself and I and no one else. So I'm so legit. I don't have anything to say, so I figured I'd say some shit. I'm a YouTuber. First of all, Katie Bug, Bug Boo. I might have to take you back. This is what he fucking does. Shut up. Whatever. Nobody's listening. Nobody important. Got a new subber. Don't know. Don't care. Might be legit. But one of my favorite videos of you is with you doing the neck massage thing with your friend, the pregnant one. Tits look on point, but because she's pregnant, they're probably you know, getting ready to, produce milk or whatever. Maybe they already are. I don't know if that happens after the pregnancy or what. The body produces it. She's not excreting it, so the body reabsorbs it or does whatever. As far as if you don't use it, you lose it concept, I think she's probably all right. Anyway, I don't know if she's gonna breastfeed or not. Either the baby directly or into a container, or use formula, that you buy. I don't know if this is her first pregnancy or what. But anyway, you sure are pretty. Elegant, beautiful, gorgeous, amazing. Words don't do you justice. Girl. Your face is shiny, you got a lot of makeup on. I guess you like the way that looks. I think it looks kind of silly because your face is shiny. But again, I don't actually know how you understand the world and interpret information, and internalize it, and all that stuff. So I'm not saying you look bad, I mean, I've seen you without makeup, or at least minimal, and you look good. I'm all about, just a little mascara, or whatever, just to make things pop, But obviously, the whole rub your dick on your face fetish doesn't work with makeup. Also, it'll get all over my bedding. I have to clean up before we turn in. And sometimes that doesn't happen. And in the morning, I gotta wash all my shit. But anyway, I mean, generally, it's gonna happen. But I don't know. So today's Saturday night. You go into the local goth club to get some action. They have goth clubs in Chicago. It's funny, I had mentioned, the sirens and stuff, and of course you hear sirens and stuff. Garbage trucks, people arguing. Planes taking off from O'Hare. You can hear if it's coming towards you, you just hear the sound of the turbines, kind of that whirling sound, and then if it's going away from you, you hear the jet engine. You hear the suck, you never hear the squeeze bang, and then you hear the blow. But but you're not hearing, actually, you're just hearing the sound of the, I suppose that's the sound of actually the turbines, you know, that, oh, yeah, I can't really do it, but kind of like a plane. What you're actually hearing mostly is the sound of the propeller, you know, the blah, blah. You might hear the engine a little bit. That's why, you know, turboprops, when they're up close, you can kind of hear that whistling sound, but you also, because that's the jet engine, but then you also hear that the props. Then heliocopters, of course, if they're smaller, you know, they're jet engine, but or piston engine, but most of them are turbine. You know, I don't know how the transmission works, so I'll have to look that up. But you, that's spooling up, then the things start going, then you did this, and then pretty soon you're, and you got your chopper. I had a dream the other day about a chopper. I usually don't remember my dreams, but I'm not going to get into it, but I was not the pilot. I was sitting in the right seat, which is actually the pilot's seat in Chiappers. Unless it's logging, because I need to be able to look out their bubble window. And it's all standard, you know, the up-down stick versus the move-around stick. The accelerator, the throttle basically is on the up-down stick, and then you got your rudders, so and the up-down stick is in the middle, unless it's like a crane type shit. Then that way the configuration is the same, kind of like driving. You know, if you drive on the other side in another country. As far as I know, the pedals are still the same. You know, gas right foot, brake right foot, clutch left foot. If those don't really exist anymore, but and this you know H pattern was the same. You know, 1, 2, 3. You know, blah blah blah. It wasn't like all fucked up. So that's how airplane or heliocopters are. Airplanes, they actually sit on the left. You know, the pilot in command. But we were flying sideways. It was kind of like more of a forest type area. It wasn't like jungle. Because I say that because it was like an old-fashioned green Huey. You know, the you know. And there was some other shit, but just whatever. And that's it. I just don't feel like talking about it. Why not? I just don't. Oh, shit. But, is there any other context to that dream? It kind of flowed. And that's it. There was no like tootling along, you know, or whatever. I just remember sort of that. Yeah, it's probably about 2 weeks ago, right? Oh man. But yeah, I might have to marry you just for the shoulder rubs and whatnot. Oh fuck. And some other shit too. I know you're probably thinking, I ain't got time for this, you fucking bitch. Good, because neither do I. I mean, I do. But anyway, check out the Amen Drop the Mic folder and the Weak People Make Hard Times folder. I saved 2 videos about AI and how people are using it. And, you know, just people can't think for themselves. Their computing power is lower because they're using computers. So go check it out if you want to.
And I guess that one broad, that clusterfuck of modern times, she couldn't even fucking read, but she got like honorary, brave, strong, and independent. It was probably some DEI shit. And she was actually mad, you know. She didn't realize, as this human being led, and just couldn't think for herself. And she became an adult, and she's like, excuse me, I'm stupid. How did y'all let me get this way? So, at first it's like, I mean, humans aren't completely helpless. I mean, we have like genetic, abilities to, like figure things out. You're not an absolute, you know, you're still human. You know what I mean? If you're raised by wolves, you don't actually like think like a wolf. You know, you still have your emotional components and everything that you is, and you got your peers and stuff. This whole anyway. That's really all I gotta say. In the next probably 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I'll start my loader position. So that'll be a pay increase and all that good stuff. Um, it's just it'll be on the one site where it's private, and then once my early termination, then I could be legal, to go over to the other side, which is regulated by MSHA. But my coworker who's out right now on injury, he had surgery. He got injured playing football. I guess somebody tripped him and fucked things up. Like I said, he's kind of taken to me, and I figured he might do this. A couple weeks ago, I was like, call me, whatever. I'd love to talk to you. I remember one time it was a text. He's all, love you, man. But I don't think that. I think that was, just like, dude, because he's that way with everybody, Because like I said, he's kind of got a learning disability. Some things he's really on point. Some things it's like he's 12. So it's kind of whatever. But he did. I remember I said this a while back. I'm like, I can't be friends with this guy other than just at work because of the age difference. It's too fucking weird. And there's that whole queer thing, which I don't think would amount to anything. But yeah, yesterday as a text is something like, just checking in, keeping in contact, I, don't do that, but I figured he would probably, text me. And yeah, it said something like, you want to hang out sometime, and I said I'm gonna have to pass on that. I don't like to do things. And then I got kind of sarcastic, to kind of lighten it up a little bit. I said I prefer to spend my time, pissed off, hating on life, plotting my revenge on the world. Sometimes I Netflix and chill, and I've taken up breakdancing, so which I haven't, but so hopefully it didn't hurt his feelings, because basically I just shut him down, Hey man, want to hang out? No, I do not. It's just too fucking weird. Okay? It's just too fucking weird. Friends at work, and I'm the one, who makes it look, it looks bad on me. You know what I mean? Him, because he's younger, less life experience. Plus, he's, got the special thing going on. So yeah, big fat hell no. And then, like I said, the whole queer thing, you always kind of got to keep that in the back of your mind. His secret. Anyway, poor bastard. Like I said, I don't believe it's a choice, because why would anybody in their right mind make that choice? You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure there's some people out there who are like, well, I'm bi, so obviously it's a choice. No, it's not. If you were wired normally, you would just be straight, heterosexual. But because you're bi, and it is a quote unquote choice for you, that's a miswire. That I'm, hey, it is what it is. The more complex something is, the more prone it is to things go astray, awry. So, like I said, and he kind of lacks the social stuff. Like I said, a lot of things he's really keyed up on. Some things not. Obviously, the whole that thing. It's like, nah, dude, that's it's totally inappropriate. So, like, even if it were like the thing, I'm not gay, curious, or bi. I know that sounds weird when I say that. Just why do you say gay, curious, or bi? Fucking, I was in a smut barn, like 50 years ago, and I saw a magazine that said that, and it's just sort of stuck with me ever since. So, what? What? What the fuck? What the fuck is that? Maybe, dude. No, that was before. Yeah, that popped up, that R.E. Emily short. Yeah, I had the dream about the Vietnam Huey chopper before that. And it wasn't like a war thing or anything. It was just weird. I don't really remember the other stuff. It kind of flowed. It's like, okay, first it was this, and it was that. Now we're in a helicopter, and we're flying sideways. About probably just above the treetops, I guess. They were like pine trees, though, so. Huh. So would that be maybe 100, 150 feet in the air or something like that? They're fairly big pine trees. So, guess that's all I got to say. No, it is not. Katie Bug, a short for the movie Tremors popped up. It's an old movie. It's about your time. I've seen Tremors, the first one and the second one, and that's it. I think there's like 5 of them now. But I saved it in the ASMR. That girl looks like your friend. So, ooh, must be in love with her. I definitely could be. She's knocked up. I would hope she's married. Like I said, that's everything's off the table then. So, oh well. I mean, it is as if. I'm not trying to lead you on. You're talking like we're gonna. Oh, by the way, I still need to show you those rocks. I got like 3 of them that are shaped like hearts. I got a few of them that are square, a couple that are round, some of them that are like mixed. Like, how do rocks form? And I see a lot. There's a lot of rocks that are shaped like thong pussy hammocks, and all that. So don't you think that chick kind of looks like your friend? Look at her. Look at her. Nobody hauls trash like we do. Yep. Come on, Earl. I mean, this is Walter, get off the ground. Walter, no, you got to get higher than that. I'll have to watch that movie now. Ooh, and 2. I don't care about the rest. I'm not going to binge on them and catch up. Because for the longest time, the Fast and Furious movies, I saw the first one in bits and pieces of the one when they're in London. I think that was the third one. I think Tokyo Drift. I get confused. But anyway, but now I've seen them all except for Fast 10. And I probably will. Because it's got that dude, Jason Samoa or whatever, and he's like a gay wad. In case you were wondering, the carpet matches the drapes. He's in like a purple carp. My truck was that color basically when I worked for the company before my last company. They had 2 trucks. It was a pastel purple. It was a long nose Peterbilt. And when you were up close, it almost kind of had sparkles in the paint. It was a good looking truck. Woo! I'm so sad and lonely. I ain't got nobody to love. Don't start with that shit again, you motherfucker, you motherfucker, you. Yeah, well, you know. Maybe I just need someone to guide me, what it is to truly be in love. Remember, like I said, it's not the being loved, that's warm and fuzzy, it's the loving somebody else that is the true gift. So, and all that fate and destiny and shit. Shit, motherfucker, maybe I ought to swing by the old Chinese place, get me some Chinese food tomorrow. Woo! I was going to make me some fajitas tomorrow and stock up on my food for the week, Anyway, I'm up here at time, so sweet Katie. Boo. Whew. You're stupid. You make no fucking sense, man. Why are you even talking? Good night.